Off the block, it's out, and Purdue will take it.
Colvin on the slide. What a better way to end this one on senior night.
Spectacular crowd inside Mackey Arena. Colvin puts an end to the first set.
How sweet it is! The Purdue Boilermakers punch their ticket to the Sweet 16.
Is down. History for Dave Shondell. The all-time wins leader.
Welcome back to the Dig City Podcast, brought to you by Franciscan Health, the official medical provider of Purdue Athletics. I'm Cory Palm. He's head coach Dave Shondell, and we are smack dab in the middle of the spring volleyball season. Boilermakers, a nice match against Illinois over the weekend. We'll talk about that in a bit. But Coach, it's been a little over a month since we chatted, I think. How are things going?
Going really well. It's nice to have a March edition of the Dig City show. It's not always something that we do, but with a lot really going on right now, I felt like we could give our listeners a little something to chew on. And the spring season's going very well. I really, really enjoy walking into the gym with this particular team. We have 16 players that are on campus right now working out with us. That's 3 incoming freshmen that have come early. You know, they should be enjoying probably their last semester in high school, but it's amazing the rate at which kids are leaving early now to come to college because they're ready for whatever is on the horizon. So we have Elle Shara, who's from Crown Point, is here early. We have Mary Kate Schumann from Belmont High School that's here early, and Sydney Weiss from down around Memphis, Tennessee, who's here early. So it's great to have them, and always neat to see them in their first event. And so on Saturday morning we played Illinois, which is a good team. I think will be a team that will compete in the upper half for sure of the Big Ten next year. And they were in here. They were missing a player. But it was fun to watch our kids play. And really, in that match, Cory, against Illinois, I was determined to play all of our people more than just mop-up roles.
Yeah.
Start them in a particular set. And I've never done that in 24 springs. Have I gone in and said, we're going to play people. And I did that because I'm so impressed with the 16 that we have, how hard they're working, how much progress they're making, how talented, how physical they are, that I felt like I think I can get by with this and do this. And so we did. We played a different lineup every set, and everybody got a chance to start and be a regular in at least one of those sets. We won the first 2, lost the third, and then we won the fourth, so we won it 3-1. Had a good crowd there watching, so it was a really, really productive day. And some of our key people were not the players that led us necessarily. You know, I feel like we got 5 staples that are returning. And a couple of them were pretty good, and the other 3 were just okay. But some of the younger players stepped up and did a really good job and responded in a big fashion. And I guess I would start with both the 2 backcourt kids that are still supposed to be back in high school right now. But Elle Shara, who's from Crown Point, as I mentioned, and Mary Kate Schumann from Belmont were terrific. I mean, just looked like they've been around the block and were Big Ten regulars. And that's nice because we're having to replace Julia Kane and Rachel Williams, who have graduating early. And so great to see those 2. They're really physical players for 17, 18 years old. And they were really, really good. Sydney Weiss had to step into play in the middle. She's really a pin player, a left side or a right side. But she's not going to get any time this year on the left or the right based on the personnel that we've got. And we're a little thin, still waiting on a player to show up in the fall or the summer that will be a middle. So we threw her in the middle, and she's just done a great job. And her playing middle, I've told her this, you going in and having to work on blocking as a middle and running offense as a middle is only going to help you when we move you back out to the pin. It's a little bit harder sometimes in the middle to do some things. But those three new players were great, and then we've got 4 redshirt freshmen that did play a little bit last spring, but they didn't play any during the fall.
Right, right.
So it was their first chance to get back out in front of people and play for a long time. So it was fun. It was exciting and fun, and we got 3 more matches. Wednesday's a big one with Butler. That will be our last home match. So if our people here around West Lafayette and in the Tippecanoe County want to come out and see us play very easily, then 7:30 on Wednesday would be a great opportunity for them to come out and see this team.
Definitely, definitely. I love that you take the approach, at least in the Illinois match, of sort of using the entire roster. The sport of volleyball it doesn't allow that in the regular season. You have to do that in the spring, because if you go against a team that everyone, the fools like me who talk for a living, think you should win easily, and you drop a set because you were trying some stuff, you get judged by that.
Yeah, well, the RPI formula is a big part of it, and you can, in our league, you can lose to anybody in our league.
Absolutely.
I'll just tell you can. I mean, it's a tough league. So you don't fool around a lot. You don't, it's not that you don't trust people. It's just that the chemistry of the players on the floor can be impacted just by making a change. Mm-hmm. And it's not that the people come in don't play well. Sometimes it's when you do make those changes, it's the regulars that have been in there kind of let up a little bit, or just change can create some problems. So we're excited about this group, and I think we'll continue to develop. I think physicality is the key word with this team. This is a physical group. We're big, we're strong, we hit the ball hard, we play high above the net, and it's a group, I think, that has a high ceiling, and expectations will be much larger going into this season than they were going into last season. And that's a good thing as far as I'm concerned.
I totally agree. Last season was kind of the unknown, and this season there's a lot more that everyone thinks they know about this roster. But I know, like you said, with the 4 redshirt freshmen who didn't see any time last fall, and then the newcomers who were expected to contribute, it sounds like there's still a lot that people don't know about this team that maybe you do.
Well, Mimi Mambu, who's the transfer from Georgia Tech, she'll just be a sophomore next fall, has 3 years left. She's electric. I mean, she is a terrific athlete, probably 5'11", and a half, but touches around 10'5", 10'6", just jumps out of the gym, hits the ball hard, is quick as a cat, brings a serious amount of toughness to our team that I think, losing Cash Anderson, who was kind of the person that did that for us last year, she graduated. Now she's having a great time with the Columbus Fury. We'll probably talk a little bit about that later on in the show. But we needed somebody to come in and give us some of that in-your-face, serious, no nonsense, and Mimi has done that. And we've got 4 really good left side pin hitters right now that are fighting for playing time. Kenna Woolard, obviously at the top of that list, the second team All-American. Then you've got Mimi, and then you've got Natalie Moravec, who's having, I think, a breakout spring for us right now. And then you've got Addie Tyndall, who missed the entire fall with a knee surgery, and just 2 weeks ago was released to start, jumping at least half the time in practice. Okay. And she got a chance to play. I think she had 7 or 8 kills for us in the match against Illinois. So we're going to be solid there on the left side. I think we're going to be really solid on the right side. Setting looks really good with those young kids playing well in the backcourt to go along with, Foster and our libero, Ryan McAleer. I mean, depth is a good thing. Yep. And we just got to keep competing really hard in practice.
You talk a little bit about Mimi, and we've seen this now. It appears to be a bit of a trend. Trends change, and your approach has to adjust. But when you go to the portal, you tend to go after players who have multiple years left. Is that intentional? Is that something you're specifically trying to do?
I think you look at your roster and figure out what it is that you really need. And Mimi is a player that we recruited. She's out of Washington, the D.C. area. Actually, she may be from Virginia, but played for a club called Metro, and we loved her as a player. But we had some depth in the left side hitting position at that point in time, and we also knew Addie Tyndall was a stud right here from the state of Indiana that had been coming to our camp for years and years and years, and she was our first choice. And then when we had some players disappear from our roster that were pin players, we needed to add some players, and this was one that fell into place. And when I saw her go in the portal, I just jumped all over it because I knew that this is a player that can play at the highest level of the Big Ten. Once she gets rolling, still makes a few too many hitting errors, which was her problem last year. I think she led Georgia Tech in kills per game last year, but also had a few too many errors. So now we're going to just slowly talk to her about keeping the ball in play, developing a few shots that will put pressure on your opponent. May not be ripping the ball hard, but you can still score points or put them at a disadvantage, and that's some of the things that she has to do. But I really like her.
Can't wait to see it all come out in the fall for sure. You talked a little bit about the Butler match on Wednesday, 7:30 start in Holloway Gym. It'll be good to have the Bulldogs in town. It'll be good to have Kyle's team come up.
Yeah. They're improved. They're improved from a year ago. They've got actually a kid out of Attica that is early arrival there. Lemming is her name, and she's a really good outside hitter, really, really good. And so she's added some fuel to their fire. So it will be a good competitive match on Wednesday. I just hope we get 1,500 people in there to watch these guys play.
Yeah, it should be. Well, it seems like it'll be a good day to be inside watching volleyball because there's a lot of rain in the forecast this week. Another nice thing.
We don't have to worry about that.
You don't have to worry about that.
No.
There's no midweek. There's no other action. Baseball and softball do not have home midweek games this week. So you want to see the Boilermakers do anything, come out and watch them play volleyball on Wednesday. It's not the only thing going on Wednesday. There's an event Wednesday. Specifically, I know you said there were some invitations that went out to season ticket holders. You saw that if you're a season ticket holder, but it's not exclusive to ticket holders.
No, we're having kind of a meet the team event, but the major focus of this event, Cory, and I'm glad that you brought it up, is that we're trying to educate our volleyball fans who really care about this program how they can help us from a financial standpoint. As everybody knows in the world of college athletics right now, the landscape is changing, and our revenue sharing is very generous from Purdue, but it's not as generous as it is at about 8 or 10 other places.
Right.
Okay, those places we're supposed to be able to compete with, and so we want to make our fans aware that there's ways that they can help. Whether it be NIL, whether it be given to the John Purdue Club to help with all kinds of things in our budget, including the rev sharing aspect of it. But we want them to understand that what they give to us makes a huge difference. Our volleyball players aren't making what football and basketball players are making.
Right. So
in some sense of the words, you can make a bigger difference by giving somebody a significant amount in volleyball as opposed to what it might be in other places. We want people to give to everybody. As you know, I love our basketball and football teams, and those are the driving force behind every athletic department. But I think this volleyball team has more momentum right now than it's had at any point in time in my career that I've been here, 24 years. Our fans are coming out of the woodwork. They love the style of play. They love who our players are. They love the way we do things. And we've got really good talent here right now. And this is a really good year. And where we've got 3 really good seniors that will be counted on, we've got a lot of young players too. So it's a really good time to get on board. So back to your statement, at 6 o'clock in the Spurgeon Room, which is right in Mackey Arena, right across from CVS bookstore. We've got almost 200 people that have signed up to attend this event, and we can get a few more in the door. If somebody is thoroughly interested, genuinely interested in helping us from a financial standpoint, we'd like to have you, come and be part of this first ever event where our players will be there and they'll be milling around, and then I will talk, and Ken Halpin, who's our associate athletic director, he will talk, and we'll just try to help people understand why and how we need the money and how you can go about helping us, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Because I think there's so much confusion about everything right now in college athletics, and we're just trying to clear some of that up.
Yeah, understanding the process. Everybody thinks they understand what's going on, and it is so complex. There's so many different levels.
Well, there's just so much. It's changed rapidly.
Insane amount of change in the last 18 months.
And I just think it'd be good. Number one, we want them to meet our team. We want our players to get to know who our fans are, and it's all free. There's going to be appetizers and cold drinks and things like that, but then it leads right into our match, in which we hope that we can get a great crowd to watch that match as well.
I know last spring you did something. It wasn't as informational based, but it was community outreach and meet the team,
and that went great.
And that went great. And it seems
that was
like,
at Lafayette Country Club,
right? And
now we're going to do it right here, so people can just walk through Mackey Arena into Holloway Gym and be part of the match. So, but I'm thrilled that we sent that thing out, and bam, within 2 days we had about 125 people sign up, and now we're at about 175. And so I'm looking forward. I always like to be around our fans and talk to them and let them kind of be a big part of who we are.
Well, and that's something that you've been doing for over a decade with your pre-match talks. Mm-hmm. The name of it's changed over the years, but
the situation room is what it's called right now, and it has been for quite a while.
Not a lot of coaches will give anyone 10 minutes of their time, 30 minutes before the start of a match, but it's important.
Yeah. Well, it takes my mind a little bit off some of the stress that we're doing, but I do like to talk to our fans, and we've got loyalty lives here, as they say. Yep. Okay, we've got such great fans at Purdue, and how much fun was it to watch Matt Painter's basketball team?
It was great
to watch that senior class, Braden and Fletcher and TKR and of course Big Clough. Mm-hmm. Clough is no fluff, that's for sure. But what an unbelievable run we've been on. And I don't think it's over by any stretch of the imagination. I ran into Matt in the hallway, and we've got good players here for basketball, but our fans are so loyal. And I know that sometimes as coaches we get a little bit frayed because some of the stuff that we read and hear about when fans, usually those that aren't really as loyal as we like them to be, but mostly they just get upset because the season's over, or it's not going as well as they want. I wanted to watch this team play longer, too.
Yes, absolutely.
But so did Matt Painter. And just a great year, and you get to the Elite Eight, and you lose to a really talented Arizona team. Played a great first half, but Arizona was still trying to figure some things out, and they did. And now, again, we'll have a new group coming in. And, you got Mr. – well, I don't think he's been announced as Mr. Basketball yet, but he will be.
Has to be.
And a great young player coming in and some other talent, another 7-footer coming in, and the wheel just continues to turn. And so I know our staff will develop those players. That's what we do at Purdue. We develop players. We don't live and die by going out and getting freshmen who are going to go to the NBA the next year. And a lot of people would like to do that. That's just not the way we've done it here at Purdue. And could change, but for right now, let's just develop players and do what we do best.
Another thing I love, not to get too far astray here, but
why not?
I love all the comments that I'm seeing. Well, Purdue needs to go get NBA-ready talent. How many NBA-ready players do people think exist at 17, 18? There's a very small handful every year, and most programs aren't going to get that. So you kind of have to live with doing the other.
From my perspective, I've been involved in athletics for a long, long time. I don't know how you can do it any better than Matt Painter.
Nope.
I don't know how you can do it better than what Matt Painter does, and what those guys, when they leave. And not a lot of people evaluate it by how suited for life are people when they graduate. That's not how sometimes programs are evaluated. But when those guys leave a program with that coaching staff that has directed them, they're ready for whatever is out there. And whether it be the NBA, whether it be playing professionally somewhere else, or whatever job it might be, they're ready. And that's what Purdue takes a lot of stock in. Okay, is that we're going to prepare people for life.
Yep.
And if that means we get beaten in the Elite Eight and people are angry about it, that may be. But I think at the end of the day, what our fans have seen, 95% of them recognize this has been a beautiful thing.
Another thing that a lot of folks are saying is we'll never see this again with a core group that comes in and stays together for 4 years. And I don't agree with that, because I have a feeling we're going to see it again at Purdue.
Well, we could. I think it's just hard to predict the future because you don't even know what the rules are going to be. You don't even know what the finances of things are going to be. So it's really, really hard to predict.
And that's another reason people need to come to Spurgeon Club 6 o'clock on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And
we want genuinely interested people. Okay, that know what it's going to take. We've been knocking on the door of this thing for a long time, trying to get to that Final Four, and this could be the difference. Just making sure we have what we need when those recruits come in or players are talking about going on the portal. We can say, wait a minute, here's our situation for you, and that we have the means to do that is really important.
We're going to step aside real quick. We will talk about the rest of the spring schedule and some scheduling news for the fall when we come back.
The Dig City Podcast is brought to you by Franciscan Health, the exclusive healthcare provider for Purdue Athletics. Franciscan, inspiring health, working for a better tomorrow. Go to franciscanhealth.org for more information. Now, back to the show.
All right, Coach. Wednesday will be the second match of the spring. You got two more after that coming up. April 11th. That's a Saturday. You take on Vanderbilt down in Greenwood at Center Grove High School. Let's talk a little bit briefly about that match before we get to the finale.
One of the things that we've done a lot of here lately is we've gone across the state of Indiana to let our team play. It's hard to go too far because you can't spend the night on these trips. Okay, right. You have to go someplace and come back. So we have been down, around Louisville. We've been to Providence High School a few times. We've been to Columbus East. Been around the Indianapolis area quite a bit. But this year we're going to play two down in Indianapolis, Center Grove High School, and we're playing Vanderbilt, who's in their second year of their program right now, and had a pretty good finish to their season last year. It's tough your first year when you're competing in the SEC, but they got into the tournament and won two matches in the SEC tournament before losing, and they've made some moves on their roster, and they feel really good about who they're going to be. So that should be a lot of fun at Center Grove. And then our last match will be at the Fishers Event Center, playing our friends from Bloomington, and we had great matches with them. And I think Indiana finished 5th in the Big Ten this past year, right around there. Yep. Had a really, really good year, and they're optimistic about how they're going to be, and to be able to be right around Indianapolis and have Indiana from the south and Purdue from the north converge, and then the ticket not only gets you to watch that match, okay, the in-state rivalry match, then you get to watch the two best teams in Major League Volleyball playing, Dallas and Indy. The Ignite. They'll play that night. So your ticket, I think for $20 you can get a ticket to watch both those matches. Plus there's going to be a big fan fest going on in between those matches where you can get autographs and talk with players, both college and professional. So it's a really neat deal that they've put together down in Fishers. So if those are the four matches, the one we play against Illinois, one this Wednesday with Butler, at Center Grove against Vanderbilt, and then finish it up the 19th. 19th. That's a Sunday at the Fishers Event Center. I know there's already some. The Purdue Alumni Association has got some things planned, so there'll be opportunities for our fans to come out and watch.
And Big Ten Network will be there broadcasting that game as well.
A rare spring event covered by the Big Ten Network. I'm glad you brought that up because I'd forgotten about it. Yeah. So that'll be fun.
That'll be a good time. You mentioned Major League Volleyball, and Indy Ignite's looking very good. In no small part due to Blake Moeller's play. She's tearing it up. Made the All-Star team this year.
Yeah, Blake made the All-Star team, and then right before the All-Star match, she had an injury, which I don't know if you knew that or not.
I didn't.
She had a knee injury. She had surgery. Couldn't even get down to Orlando to even watch the All-Star game. So that was challenging. And Blake's had a few injuries during her career, but she's always fought back from them. But she was playing literally out of her mind this year. She was not expected to be a starter on that team. They've got 4 really good middles. she was the best they had. She was just blocking people off the floor. She was jumping out of the gym, hitting the ball with great significance, and was just fun to watch. And now she's had the surgery. She starts over with the rehab, and she should be ready to go for next year's season.
Before she went down, she was among the league leaders in efficiency and blocks. And
it was unbelievable what we were watching, how she had gone from where she was a year ago to where she was this year, just out of pure hard work and focus and belief.
She's not the only one playing well in Major League Volleyball.
Right.
You already mentioned
Cash Anderson
Cash.
is playing great for the
Columbus.
Fury. She was a late ad. She did not get drafted, and I remember telling Cash, I said, Cash, if you get drafted, you're locked into whatever club you go to, and maybe you make the roster, maybe you don't.
Right.
But if you're a free agent, then people can pick you up from all over. And this was a situation where Columbus, Ohio needed a player, and I had told her what a great human being Cash Anderson was and how well she was playing the last half of the season after she had come back from that shoulder surgery. And now she's starting for one of the 6 or 7 pro teams that we have in the Major League Volleyball, which is really, really neat. On that same team is Ashley Evans, who's started most of the season. Now she's kind of part-time starting for them. It's a team that hasn't had tremendous success, so I think that the coach is trying to pull from every angle to get a lineup on the floor that will compete. But Ashley's been playing now about 10 years, it seems like, professionally, and having a great career.
it's got to be great for her to end up back close to home after spending so much time.
She enjoys being where she is, and it's hard to say where those players will be a year from now.
That's true. And then Raven's down in Atlanta.
Raven also had an injury, unfortunately. She tore her ACL about 4 weeks ago, had the surgery, and she's having to bounce back. So a couple of tough injuries for 2 of our middle blockers. And Raven had never really had much injury issues when she was here. But you never know when it might bite you. But she was starting for Atlanta, playing very, very well in her second year of professional volleyball.
How important is it for young players and then players coming into college to know that this next step domestically, to know that this exists, to have something to point towards?
It's got more excitement, I think, in the sport of volleyball than many things have in a long, long time. You have the 2 leagues, the Major League Volleyball, you have Love Volleyball, LOVB. And I think eventually you might see them merge down the road into just being one bigger league. But right now you've got about, I think, 12, 13 volleyball teams that, players from our country can go play. Now, there's international people involved in it.
There are.
All right? They're trying to get the best players in the world to play here in America, where in the past we had no choice. We had to go to Europe or Russia or Japan, someplace and play as opposed to being here at home. But I think our people that are college players are so excited that they have a chance to be able to play in America, and where their parents and their families and their friends can see them play, and they don't have to go across the ocean to play this great sport that was invented right here in America.
Yep, and getting some great TV coverage as well. There's good broadcast deals.
You can watch every one of their matches if you know what you're doing on a streaming service. You can figure it out. Now,
I'm trying to. Is it the 4 alums that we have in the league right now?
In this league, and then you've also got Eva Hudson. Hudson is playing with a team
She's
out of
in
Atlanta,
Love.
but is in the Love Volleyball, and she's. I don't know if she's hurt. I don't think she's hurt. She got hurt a little bit. Was off to a great start. You've got over in Europe. You've got Sheridan Atkinson tearing it up. Okay, having a great career. There's lots of the American programs would like to have her
for sure
come back. Hannah Clayton is playing really well. Emma Ellis is playing well. They're all over in Europe playing.
That's great.
I know I'm forgetting about some people, and I apologize for that, but I didn't know the question was going to come up today. I ought to give it some more thought to it. But
is Danielle Coutinho?
Coutinho's still hammering balls.
Yeah,
she's great. I think she's playing in Japan.
Okay,
and she's on a team that she looks like she's a foot taller than everybody else on her own team, but she's making a lot of money And what I like about Danielle is she is enjoying her experience.
Yeah.
She's having more fun playing the game right now than she has at any point in time in her pro career.
She was always so serious here.
Yeah.
That's great to see the love.
She's great.
Come in. Okay, so
Sorry if we didn't get anybody mentioned there, but next time we'll do a better job.
that's on me. I'll prep that segment better for next time.
But I think we have about 10 players playing professional volleyball
awesome.
right now out of Purdue University.
Just it's got to be the most ever at one time.
I can't guarantee that either, but it's a good number to have.
It's a great number to have, and hopefully some future pros on the current roster as well.
That I can guarantee.
Yes. Okay, looking ahead to the fall, we'll skip ahead a little bit. There's been quite a bit of news come out since we last got together about scheduling. I think probably the biggest piece is the Baha Mar event that the Boilermakers have been invited to.
Nassau, Bahamas.
Fantastic.
First time they've ever had a volleyball event similar to what our basketball team played in just this last season. And I think they won that tournament, as a matter of fact, down there.
Pretty good.
And the Purdue Nation took over when they went down there. Now we're giving Purdue fans another opportunity to go down and do the same thing. And it's a tournament that has Kentucky, SMU, Houston, and Purdue. And we will play Houston, and Kentucky will play SMU on a Saturday, and then the losers and the winners will then play the next day. So you'll go down and get a chance to see 4 matches. Purdue play twice in beautiful, beautiful Bahamas.
Yep.
And a great resort, one of the most phenomenal resorts you'll ever see. I'm going down in May, early May, for a press conference down there.
Oh, I think I need to come cover that.
Which is a nice fringe benefit. We may need Dig City. We may need Dig City down there. I'm sure that our sponsorship will take care of that.
Sure.
Not a problem. But it's just one of those things that just is an indication of where volleyball is going. I mean, the crowds are there, and now you got people thinking, let's do this here in this. I guess it's a convention center is where they actually play, a ballroom.
It is,
that
right.
They turn into an athletic facility. The ceiling will be a little bit low for volleyball, but it does meet the NCAA requirements.
Okay.
So we'll just have to maybe spend some time playing balls off the ceiling a little bit in practice.
I've been to a few basketball events that are played in banquet halls, and it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's definitely a different feel, but it is the same Grand Hyatt Baha Mar Resort.
But we're excited to be, the first. One of the first teams to be able to play down there in that event, and I think you'll see more of that. I got a call from somebody the other day about wanting us to go over and play in Italy.
Okay.
In the following year in an event, but I don't know if that will do that or not. But that's something that I think you're going to see more of.
You said a little bit ago, first half of the show, that the momentum of this program is as strong as it's ever been in your tenure, at least. Things like this are an indicator of that. On the national scale, it's the first ever one of these holiday tournaments is what we've always referred to them as in basketball, but one of these events are super special for the Boilermakers to be included, to be invited, to be a part of that.
And there's reasons for that. One, the success of the program, okay? And two, the fact that we will have a following. That Purdue has one of the top 10 alumni bases in the world. Okay, it's a big, large amount of people, and the volleyball fans are traveling, and they know that, and I think that we'll continue to have these opportunities down the road as long as we continue to be successful. You still got to beat people.
For sure.
That's the key. You beat people, people will come watch you play, and that's the situation that we have evolved into at this point.
Now, the week prior to that, a little more than a week before that, another showcase event has been announced, the Big Ten SEC Volleyball Challenge.
Okay.
Which will be, our version of it will be, it's a conference-wide agreement, partnership between the SEC and the Big Ten, and our portion of it will be right here in Holloway Gym in early September. The defending national champions coming to town.
Yeah, Texas A&M. Our fans have an opportunity the first week of the season. We're going to be on the road for a Saturday match, which I don't think I'm allowed to.
We won't talk about that.
Mention that one yet, but it's going to be a dandy. It's a top 10 opponent. Okay. And then we come back here, and on a Tuesday, we have Texas A&M, who just rolled through the NCAA tournament last year.
Yeah.
And again, to me, it's another indication of what I think, the Big Ten thinks about Purdue volleyball. The Big Ten of the national champions are coming here to play. So we play them. Indiana will also be here. We will not play Indiana, but we'll play A&M on Tuesday, and then we play Georgia on Wednesday. So that's the event, and Indiana will play in the opposite order. But we will play the prime time match, which I assume will be at around 7:30 on those 2 nights. So, yeah, there's some things cooking for sure with our schedule next year that are going to make things even more enjoyable for our fans.
Something to look forward to already. It's still March when we're taping this, probably April by the time you're seeing it. But
well, let's hope we can get it before that Wednesday, April 1st. I hope it's not a joke, by the way.
No.
But let's get it. Let us get it before April 1st.
For sure. I guess March does have 31 days, so maybe you'll see it still in March. Fantastic. I just another indicator of the growth of the sport. Seeing these types of events, seeing these showcase events, these made-for-TV matches to some degree. Not that we know the TV schedule yet, but the world is really. A couple years ago, it felt like volleyball was having a moment, and it never stopped. Yeah. It's just kept on growing, and interest is growing.
Yeah, and there's going to be some other announcements coming out very, very soon that I think will excite our fans and intrigue our fans even more with our non-conference schedule and with the whole Big Ten scenario. So again, it's just the kind of things that are going to draw more and more of the great players to the Big Ten. I think make Purdue even a better and an ideal choice for recruits across the country.
Love hearing that, and can't wait to see it. Anything else you want to touch on? I've got a quick story for you before we go.
No, I think you can go ahead and go with the story.
Okay. My daughter goes to Wea Ridge Middle School on the south side of Lafayette, and a couple weeks ago she forgot something at home because she's 13, and that's what 13-year-old girls do, and I had to drop it off at the school, and I go up, and here this is for Alyssa Palm, and the secretary takes it, and everything's good, and then Vice Principal Brian Eaton comes over and says, "Are you Alyssa's dad?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "I watch Dig City every week. You guys do such a great job."
Is that the first time that's ever
Keep
happened?
up the work. It's not the first time it's ever happened, but it did catch me off guard.
Yeah, I love that.
I was on the way to work and had 100 things on my mind.
We need to send that guy a signed volleyball or something.
Mr. Eaton at Wea Ridge Middle.
Yeah.
So thanks for watching, and maybe something special coming your way.
Yeah, we appreciate that. Appreciate that. All the people out there that do pay attention to our show, and we do get a few more than we expect.
Yeah.
But I think this show today, I think we're giving them some pretty good information.
Yep.
And I am thoroughly impressed with this team that we have this year. And that doesn't mean we're going to go out and be any better than we were a year ago.
Sure.
But it should be an indication that the old ball coach is enjoying what we're doing and the progress we're making. The staff's doing a great job. The players are coming in, working hard every day. It's a talented, athletic, physical group. Which, if you watch the NCAA basketball tournament over the last 2 weeks, athleticism matters, talent matters, and for us to be able to and that's how we've always recruited that way.
Yeah.
We've always felt like we can train. So let's get the best athletes that we can possibly find. And we can't always get the best athletes. I mean, people want to get on a coach for not winning a certain match in the tournament. You can't get every player you want.
Exactly.
And it's not that simple.
Nobody does. Yep.
It's not that simple. And I think Purdue is a very attractive university, but there's also some other places out there that some players will look at and think, wait a minute, UCLA's in Westwood, California, and Texas is in Austin, and I mean, trust me, we have a hard time getting people away from Texas. Okay, I mean, if you get in a recruiting battle with some of these schools, it's pretty hard.
It's tough.
You got to be a really good salesman, or you got to have a lot of money, one of the two, to find a way to get some of those people. But I think our reputation is good. You look at what Annie Drews did when after she graduated, and the Catinos and the Atkinsons and all the pro players we've got and so forth, that you can come here and get what you want and go out in the world at the pro level and have great success.
It's fun to be a part of, even on the fringes here, from my standpoint, and can't wait to see what the rest of well, the rest of the year has in store. We'll try and get together one more time at the end of spring.
I look forward to seeing everybody Wednesday in Holloway Gym. The match will start at 7:30, and let's see if we can't pack Holloway and have some fun on Wednesday.
Beautiful. See you there, Coach.
Boiler up.